And I can see that we're live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, the place where the live streams, they be a-happening. Spooky Dokie Hero Blender and Bear with the bananas in the chat, as well as the Cheese Eater and Coals of Doom. All of these wonderful people letting me know that we're live. I can hear the music in my ears. I think I've set up everything correctly. Yeah, we're good. We're ready to go live. I've been looking forward to this one because we are just doing some casual redstone. I wanted to go pick something up though. What I'll do... Oh, actually, this is perfect. I'll put the things we're working with inside of this shulker box, free up some space, and we're going to go grab some scaffolding, and then probably find out a moment later that I immediately need to go back and get some more stuff. That's usually how this works, right? I should probably pack away this little station here as well and kind of done with this for the time being. So that would be a smart idea. That's one for the backpack. And look at that, our iron blocks. Have we used them all up? I guess we'll take a trip past the iron farm and get some wheat as well. Those are things that I needed to do. Just trying to look for stuff that I need to pack away, really. Ah, a couple of empty shulker boxes, that's what I want. That one gets put away too. Yeah, look at this. Organised, right? And then one of those, that one goes into here too. And I'll take this. Great start, great start. Okay, we've got a little bit of a plan. Gonna drop some materials off at the depot, and there was one other thing that I just forgot, which is more rockets. Rockets, rockets, rockets. Love the little visual system. Now, in the latest snapshot, there's been things that have been added that could possibly, you know, like, what if we could customize shulker boxes like that? That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That would be pretty cool. Anyway, lots of people in chat saying hello and tuning in, so welcome everyone. It is a Wednesday, usually a snapshot day, so I wouldn't be streaming, but we got the snapshot yesterday, so that's all good. We'll chat about that later on. First of all, though, just got a few errands to run, really. Right, yep, this is the spot. I came over here just dropping off loads of materials from the dig. So I figured, rather than carry... Oh my goodness me. Oh, no one should ever have to dig for stone again. There you go. What redstone systems are you making today? Beef's TCG Arena is what we're constructing. I have a weird feeling I needed a couple more shulker boxes for that thing. Oh yeah, I need 3 white shulker boxes. Okay, so I also need to get iron and wheat, and then we're going to go get some scaffolding and white shulker boxes. Can I keep all of these things on mind? Also, happy news, I quit my job, says Shinny. Good for you. Good for you, taking control. I mean, assuming it was a good reason to quit, right? Good for you for taking control, and hope you move on to whatever's next in a good way. Joy loves Hollow Knight, says PCG Arena, can you elaborate? Oh, sorry, TCG. Trading card game. We're building that. So, yield scaffolding. Do I not have a lot of it? So you make that with string and bamboo. I might not have a lot of string lying around, because it's been a while. I mean, I know I got loads. Yeah, I got loads over at the mob farm. So if I need more scaffolding, I need string. And yeah, there's a bunch there, so we can... I guess... Oh, no, whoa, 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 I'm not done, I'm not done. I'm not done. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Any of these need dropping off? I don't think so. I think they're all still kind of relevant for what we're doing. Some dye. Some dye. Colour blocks are here. Like, the least colourful. Although, technically, white is the most colourful, isn't it? I mean, it's got all of the other colours inside of it. So what I need is 3 empty shulker boxes that are white. These go into the arena. Right, so now we go fill up a shulker box with some string. Everstaroo, if I say it correctly. Thank you for 18 months. That's 2 Twitch babies. 18 months of XVX name. Here's to many more. I think I actually got it right today. I stopped myself. I tried to do better. By the way, did you know if you have more than 10 viewers, you're in the top 1% of Twitch, says PyroAm15. Yeah, it makes sense. The way numbers are distributed can be funny sometimes, right? You know? But that's probably based on streamer. Like, which streamer are you? You're in the top 1% if you go over 10. If you flip it the other way, like your proportion of viewers, then you're probably not in the top 1%. You're probably in like the bottom 99. Interesting to see how those demographics work out. It's like that movement. Did they call it the 1% or the 99% or whatever it was called around 2009 sort of time? And then people were coming out and calculating, hang on a minute, like most of the people involved in this are part of the 1%. When you look at like the world globally. This stuff can stay here, that's part of this. Oh no, the invasion has begun. Oh no. What an intense invasion. Oh no. Oh, how tragic if you came any further than that. Okay. Okay. That was madness right there. String. There'll be string here. Summon sus, thank you ever so much for 31 months. I'm in college at the moment, but it's passing period. I'm just dropping in to say hello. 31 months and strong. Thank you, my dude. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you coming by. And hope you have a good rest of your day. Okay, so we've got string. String goes in here. Never saw the finished tunnel. It looks great. It'll be in my next episode of Hermitcraft, which will be coming out tomorrow. Could have put it out today. I thought, I'll give it a day. Let that snapshot video do its thing. Do a stream today, and then tomorrow you'll see the episode where you'll... oh, intense PvP action. Actually, to be fair, they're pretty brutal. You'll see all of this. Like, I finished building it, right? Just did it off camera here and there. Whoosh, off we go. Oh, I've gotten good at flying through there without hitting my head. Next up, wheat and iron, which there'll probably be very little of iron. It looks so pretty, says Banyan. Thank you. It really does look nice. I feel like it could have been a little larger in scale in terms of those repeating sections, but it totally worked. Had a nice vibe to it. I love hearing the casual banjo, says Dev Chimera. Yeah, it's just there on repeat, right? Personally, I find it a little bit annoying, but then I've been in there for ages listening to it play over and over again. Woo. Good landing, good landing. I actually have to go all the way down here, don't I? Where I imagine, or would have imagined, there was hardly anything, but there's actually a fair bit. Which I will have no complaints about. And there's even more up here. Excellent. All but one? All but one, it seems. Right, and we'll just park this stuff in the valuables chest. And it can make another beacon again, I think. If ever need be. Right, good stuff. Top tier tunnel work this season. Thank you, yeah. Tunnels on Hermitcraft have been wonderful. Right, while we're here, if you remember, the way into the other part of the base is just through this little tunnel. There's definitely a block missing there. I've got a feeling that has something to do with the Easter egg hunting, just something another replaced. Right, so we got wheat. I can't remember what the wheat was for. Oh yeah, actually it's for packed mud. I just need to get my hands on this stuff and condense it down. Should have a... yeah, I have a chest somewhere around here for wheat, right? Good. Dogcraft MC, 8 months of support. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate ya. Thank you for coming by and subscribing again. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Let's go ahead and chuck all that stuff in here. Get it crafted down. Right, and that's all of it that I need. For now. Oh, my power went out, says Rabid Turtle. Did it now? How did you send that digital message without power? Oh, I am suspicious. I started watching in Season 6, but I've been missing out on Hermitcraft lately because of high school. That's what happens, right? Life, you know? Other commitments, other priorities. You know, Hermitcraft will be here for time to come. Is it me or is that line new? That's a new line. And it's made of soul sand? And someone chopped down trees to add it? Look, I got some decaf coffee here. I need to start drinking it. Is that new? No, that's not new. What is this? Is someone making like a super highway? Is Impulse making like a quick to iBuy highway? Or is this it? I reckon someone's building like a super highway here. Let's find out. I hope they've talked to Scar, because it kind of goes right through his area. Someone's certainly put some time into this, haven't they? And then it goes over here. Has Mumbo been on the server? Oh my god, this is fresh. This is fresh. Look, items on the ground. Was it Mumbo? Don't know. It's a bit ugly. I imagine there's going to be stuff built around it. Look, I'm going to make a note about that. Because it goes right through Scar's area, and I literally was talking to him and I never saw these blue blocks, right? This is the border of his Scarland he's got plans for. And, you know, I might have built this thing like real close to the edge of Scarland had I not spoken to him. So I happen to know that's like an area, a thing someone else is building in. So what we're doing today is working on the redstone down here, which by the way is visible through a schematic that Cybot has created. So I'm going to be finishing off building this today. Some of you think it might be Scar or Etho. I reckon it might be Grian if it's like a super highway. I don't know, because it went right into Mumbo's area, but it could actually go under there and just continue onwards. So I don't think it would be Scar because it goes through his area. So I think it's either, who's at the end of that? Jevin? Impulse maybe? And then in that direction you've got Soup Group, you've got Grian and Mumbo, and Jevin's more over that way, so maybe it's not Jevin. I bet Doc heading towards the perimeter. No, the perimeter's like over in that direction, so it won't be Doc. Let's drink some more of this, by the way. Some more of this decaf. Mmm! Some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff, right. Now we've got to start building. And scaffolding. Scaffolding was the thing that I wanted to make more of, because I've been jumping around like a madman in here, and I've just been thinking that, like, whenever you come down here to look at stuff, you're probably going to want to put up some scaffolding to move around and look at things, and I thought, why don't we make that scaffolding sort of permanent? You'll see what I mean in a moment. Okay, so am I going to build with any of that? I don't think I'm going to build with any of that. I might use a little bit of that, definitely this. Those go up top. I need redstone on hand down here. And then we need, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One piece of string. Scaffolding for days. Cool, let's go place those shulker boxes and then do some redstone. So X, when are you coming back to the Create server? You really need to play Potato Wars. It's so much fun during testing. I'm just waiting on confirmation of when we're good to play it, that's all. Looking forward to playing it and checking out the other stuff on the server too. Okay, maybe this is the better way. Yeah, this is the way to get back up here. Bits of the arena have been stripped out in order to, like, build this, I guess. I have literally... Ugh, no blocks. It's good to play, all finished and done. Oh, okay, I was completely unaware. So, yeah, I guess I'll be getting on that soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. And peeps in my chat are confirming it's fun. Awesome. I worry this has been talked about before, but X, if you were to imagine redstone as real, would it feel like wires and sand and something else? Oh, I worry that it's been talked about too. I don't know why you'd worry about that. I think it would be logic circuits in my mind, like circuitry essentially. But yeah, if you made it real, it would be like wires. I mean, in order for it to be redstone and be real, it pretty much just needs to like fill and work like redstone. So maybe a wire that lights up, you know, when current flows through it. An expert says can confirm it's very fun. Yeah, there's quite a few of you in chat saying it's fun, so I'll get on and play it soon. Hey, we got noises in the ear. It's LYIYILL for 10 months, and Armored Monkey's gifting a sub to Pharaohberts. Thank you for gifting the sub, my dude. Appreciate you doing that. Pharaohberts, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Leah says, there is this shop in my house that sells decaf coffee beans, or sorry, near your house, and I didn't know something like that existed. I think it would be cool to find out how decaf beans are made. They're not made, they're processed. And there are a couple of methods of getting the caffeine out of beans, and I forget what they are off the top of my head, but I think one of them literally involves sort of like rinsing them in water over and over again. And then I think others are a bit more chemical. Are you not expecting a snapshot today, says Mouthy. No, there's no snapshot today, it was yesterday. Yellow Harold, 82 months, thank you ever so much. Evil X in the chat right there, appreciate it ever so much. Just curious about your imagination on the topic. The worry was whether it was an old topic somehow, says Nightshade Owl. A lot of topics are old topics. I get asked the same questions over and over again, you know? Like, how exactly did that prank on Mumbo work? Was something people have asked over and over again this stream. It's like, look, if you weren't here in the beginning, okay, and you missed it out, how am I going to explain how that prank works? You know? It's just... the Mumbo prank was on a different level than normal comprehension. I don't know how better I can explain it, but peeps keep asking, you know. And that's just the way it is. That's the life of a streamer. See, I had this idea of maybe just setting up more scaffolding like this to just make it easier to get about. But it's probably better to do it in a way where, like, as you go. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna put in a few bits here and there for now, and just see how we get along with it. Maybe over this side too. By the way, Beast's new video has the shulker boxes with the health maps as red, green, and yellow shulkers. I don't know if you want to dye them yourself. Oh, okay. You know, I'm sure Beef can make that adjustment if he wants to do so. I don't really have the dyes on hand, but yeah. Hi, wear your bone-covered Doomguy skin, question mark. Wear your bone-covered Doomguy skin. Bone-covered Doom... I know what you mean now that I say it enough times. By the way, we've just been raided by Captain Puffy. So sorry for missing that one. Sometimes I just get totally engrossed in what I'm doing. Thank you for the raid, my dude. I don't recognise the name. Are you from the Minecraft community? I appreciate y'all coming over and checking out what we're up to. I'll explain in just a moment. Some people in my chat know ya. Yes, says Dr. Mine. I'm assuming you mean yes to my question. I have this thing around here where I'm like, if you make a if statement, a yes, a no, a response, like always give me the context, because things move quickly in chat. I'll ask something and I've already forgotten what it was a minute later. Anyway, what we're making is Vintage Beef's trading card game arena. Okay, so there is a literal trading card game. We need to go pick up the decks. I might actually do that before I get too stuck into the redstone. This is the place where the game is played, and we're constructing the redstone systems below that allow you to shuffle your decks and you know, actually play the game against one another. In fact, yeah, we'll do that. If y'all ain't seen this, you're going to be in for a treat. We'll go grab the decks. You're all good, lovely. Haha, yep, been stuck in the Minecraft community for over a decade, says Captain Puffy. Same here. You know, there's this thing when you meet other Minecraft creators. There was someone else literally the other day. I know who it is now, and I can actually say who it was. It was Christopher Paolini, because we confirmed that we could say, oh yeah, you know, we hung out with this guy and had a chat. Really nice to meet him. He's an author and a fan of Hermitcraft, and many of the Hermits are fans of his. I might become one because I've got some of his books on an audio book playlist, or wish list, should I say, you know, on Audible, so I can listen to them in the future. Now, what was my point? Oh yeah, he's been playing since like day dot, like literal day dot, and it just seems so strange how you keep meeting people in the Minecraft community. I'm talking more about the creator space, and it always just seems to be like veterans of 10 years plus. Even like 5 years ago, it'd always be people from like the very beginning. Most of the Hermits pretty much played from the very beginning, you know? I think Gem might be an exception. She's quite young, but, you know, got started early as well. It just seems like a lot of content creators that you meet seem to have just been around since forever. The Minecraft community is very big indeed, says Dr. Mine. That's not the point I'm making, though. Not the size of it. Just how it seems like I think Wattles was another one. I got to meet Wattles and have a chat like a while back, and again, just someone else who's sort of been there from day dot. So like, when there's like a new channel that's up and coming, or you learn about a new creator or someone on the rise, more often than not, they seem to have been around since the very beginning. The way X said Gem is quite young made her sound like a baby somehow, says Banyan. I mean, I can't remember how old Gem is, but like 10 years ago when I started making videos, she would definitely have been a teenager, you know, like, and that's just like crazy to think about. By the way, here is Vintage Beef's trading card game. Aha, I see the changes he's made. These are some of the cards. It's very much like Pokemon trading card game. That's a great reference. So everyone's got stats for health and attacks. There's a whole system of rules as to how you play. There's health scorecards. And then these two decks are for me to do some testing with. So as you can see, we've literally got the cards. just amazing. So I'm going to grab those two. Those are for us to test with. I think she's around 26 as Astro Kitties. Okay, so if Gem's 26... then 11 years ago, that's 15. Teenager. Like, that's crazy. When Hermitcraft started, just a teenager in school, you know? I don't know when she started playing, though. Captain Puffy says, I feel like the Minecraft community is so vast, though. Sadly, there is a ton of competition, so lots of long-term MC creators didn't get noticed till much later. Yeah, that seems to be it, doesn't it? The thing is, though, you tend to draw like-minded people, right? And I keep noticing that I'll find like a content creator that does stuff that I really like, and as I learn more about them, I at some point or another, like, they'll say something about their youth, and I'll sort of do the math in my head, and I'll be like, ah, you're around the same age as me. And after so many times doing that, I kind of realized that being from that generation, you grow up with a similar mindset, you have certain cultural references, so this like-mindedness just permeates. Now, as a Hermitcraft creator, I don't know what sort you'd classify yourself as, but I'd imagine there's maybe some adjacency because there were people in my chat who knew. And Gem's in chat saying started playing and watching Ether 14. Dang, there you go. And like so many of the hermits also started with EFO. For me, it was Static 77, then it was DocM, and then it was EFO, and those were the three that I primarily watched right at the beginning of my Minecraft journey. So considering that people in my chat know you, I think there's going to be this like adjacency to Hermitcraft where it's like-minded crowds overlap. So I'm aware that like the Dream community is way younger and got into Minecraft at a later age just through watching videos that like talk about what Dream is about and all of this, because when they got big, you know, wanted to find out, you know, the how and the why of it. So yeah, so like Dream SMP is probably a different demographic, so there's probably like less of an overlap. So like when I or you bump into certain Minecraft creators, we're probably naturally drawn from that same sort of crowd and style. So if you're into like your Manhunt and Dream SMP stuff, that doesn't probably overlap with this style of survival Minecraft, right? Let's say you're a Redstoner and you love doing big builds and redstone contraptions, you've probably got like a natural overlap with Hermitcraft or with someone like EFO. So yeah, in that sense, it just kind of makes a lot of sense that you would actually keep bumping into people from that similar demographic, right? But it always just feels so like, oh, you know, like, oh, so you were around, like with the Christopher guy. It was like you're saying, oh, you know, I've been playing Minecraft since it was in a browser, and I'm like, wow, we meet someone else, and it's like they've been playing from the beginning, but then he's a Hermitcraft fan, so like, there's that big overlap, there's that similarity. Captain Puffy says, a funny thing is, I've always been more of a HG type of player, and somehow ended up in the chaos of DSMP, where I was afraid to build, since they'd just blow up my bases. Ah, so you play in a different sort of community, I see. Is that like an anarchy thing? By the way, we've got noises in the ear. We got Foofy32 for 3 months. Only felt like 2 weeks ago I was celebrating 2 months. Time really is pretty wild. Anyway, thanks for all you do, all your wonderful derps and being you. Time for tea and getting to chill with you and chat after work. Thank you. Foofy, glad you're here chilling with us. Jay Gary is here for 5 months. Captain Puffy has subscribed. Thank you again for that raid and a subscription as well. Appreciate it. Xita says X is being oblivious. Oh, DSMP, Dream SMP, right. Oh, you're literally from Dream SMP. Okay. Honestly, I just read DSMP. I didn't make the link. I'm a goose. That's a derp. That's officially derp SMP. That should be a thing. I'm officially a member. Matty Ray, thank you so much for 31 months. And Sir Tilth, thank you for 3 months. Appreciate it. These are good slurps. These are good slurps. Yeah, I literally did not make that connection. I was like, DSMP. I'm like, the D stands for something. Surely couldn't have been that thing I was literally just talking about, right? Oh, very good. And she plays with Iskall and Vault Hunters. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, what Iskall's done with Vault Hunters is amazing. Like, really just created his own vision and game. It's really cool. Sir Tilth, thank you for 3 months. And Awen's Musing, thank you for 12. A whole year right there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. By the way, all this excessive slurping, I'm just trying to finish the coffee now so we can crack on. Oh, man. Whew. Alright, done. Done dealio. Always drink some water immediately after because, I don't know, I end up getting this tickle at the back of my throat if I don't. Hey, Xisuma, have you ever tried your hand at climbing? Yeah, literally. I've done some climbing. I hope to do some again soon, actually. That's something I need to sort out and plan sooner than later. Right, now that we can walk around these various parts of Redstone a little better, we got to construct that up the top there. So while I'm mindlessly placing redstone blocks and stuff, we should probably talk about yesterday's snapshot. Oh, I'm doing mouth burps. God, how rude. So yeah, yesterday's snapshot was a pretty remarkable one, right? Introducing the armor trim. You've got 10 different patterns. Sorry, 11 different patterns. There's 10 different templates. And you can customize the look of your armor. There's of course a video on my channel if you missed any of this and you want to go catch up and find out what all the fuss is about. Now, I think they made a really bold move that's going to resonate with a lot of players. But at the same time, I don't think it's the best implementation of the idea possible. It feels like Mojang gave us a little more leeway than they usually would with customization. I feel like they like to rein back things a little bit when they let us customize stuff and make it so that you've got to really work for something, right? This time though, it felt like they just gave us a whole ton of options. You know, you can really slap on a bunch of color and really kind of like go for it in terms of making something quite visually distinct and wild. And I got to admit, there's some combinations in there that look really good. Some colors look great on particular armor. There's some shapes and whatnot that you can create out of that look pretty cool. There's also some that really don't mix together, like diamond with redstone on it just looks a bit garish, you know? Two kind of like bold colors that are clashing with one another, and they don't really look so great. And the patterns you can choose as well have this problem where it's like they look good when they're more subtle, when they're more formed, and a lot of the patterns just do things like add a couple of stripes on the side here and there, and don't really have a lot of personality, should I say. I just found them to be a little, I don't know, like filling in the boxes. Hey, we're going to have 10 of these, right? Whereas maybe they should have stuck with a few less. Made it a little bit more limited. Mouthy says it was kind of overwhelming, to be honest. I think it'll be overwhelming if you want to be completionist about it. Like, if you look at it like, oh, I want to make, you know, a complete set of armor, and then you're like, oh, what about those customizations? Then all of a sudden it gets a little bit, there's a lot to choose from here, right? But in general, I don't think the options are that bad. What I think the problem is that the way it's currently balanced, it's designed to encourage you to explore. They've done what I wish they would do more often, which is to look at how different aspects of a new feature can tie into different parts of the game. That is really clear. They've distributed the colors across a bunch of different materials to give them more uses. That's really good. Let's make sure we face the right direction here. So I think I do that and do this. That now faces east. Although it just says schematic. Is that because I'm still inside of one? Facing east. I think we got it right. So yeah, I really think they've done the right job there by making it so that you have to travel around the world to get all of the different parts. But then, all of the loot tables just give you a 5% chance. So you can go to something like a woodland mansion or a pillager outpost, and you're going to have a rough time. You're going to have to visit quite a few of those, right? Then there's something like a shipwreck. You're going to have to go to about 20 shipwrecks before you get one. I feel like this could have been balanced a little better and maybe be a little less cruel. And then once you got it, to duplicate it, it costs 7 diamonds. So the priciness of it to me sort of says this customization is like a one-time thing for your prime armor. And it does help make diamonds a little more valuable again. They've sort of become, I don't know, with things like mending, they've become less valuable because it's so easy to hold on to them all and keep them and, you know, keep your armor. So they've added a little value there. But I still think it's going to be quite grindy for a lot of players to actually, you know, get all of that stuff together. My friend is already talking about making a full collection of max armor for every pattern and material. That will be a mammoth grind. A mammoth grind. Good luck to them, you know. I would not want to undertake that myself. That would be quite the obnoxious grind, I think. They're too rare. Any multiplayer server, it will be impossible to find any customizations, says Taco Terrorizer. No. Let me correct you. They're not rare. They're difficult to find. They're not rare because they can be duplicated, right? So, in multiplayer communities, this is really good because it'll encourage people communicating, working together, trading, that kind of stuff. You'll be able to recreate them for 7 diamonds, but I don't know, like I feel like the reusability of it, maybe 1 diamond each time. There's something about the way you reuse it that feels clunky to me. I feel like you should probably put the template into the smithing table and then pay a price for using it. Like maybe 1 diamond each time you use it. The chances were different in Slice Lime's video, or was it worded differently and I misunderstood? Well, Sliced obviously works at Mojang, so he'll have the details. I always like to watch his videos after I've done mine. I just haven't had the time yet to see if there's any things that I'll need to correct you about next time. So he's a really reliable source of information. The thing is though, I looked at the loot tables and ran them through an analyzer and they were saying 4.8% each and every time. Now I don't know if something's changed in the way that these loot tables work that means that's incorrect. That could be the case. Or sometimes I've noticed there will be things in the changelog or things that Slice Lime knows about that are supposed to be in the update but actually aren't. This might have been one of those things, like someone maybe was supposed to go and change the numbers and just forgot to do it. So that might be why there's some different numbers out there. Either way though, it'll change, right? Like this isn't permanent, they'll listen to feedback and they'll make adjustments accordingly. So we can probably guess that it's not going to stay this way. But I really think that they need to make it a little easier to sort of work with the duplication system. Maybe not duplicating them through crafting as I suggested, but maybe just paying a cost for using the template. I think that would better handle the increase in price. And I think the increased price is a good thing. Diamonds need a little something to make them more valuable again. As for netherite, I think their reasons for making it more difficult to have are good. Some players will be upset now that their netherite stuff is going to be much harder to earn, but I do think once you get netherite, you know, you are really, really strong. It does make sense to nerf it a little bit, so I think the balancing there made sense. But the exploration stuff, really great idea to give people more reasons to explore, but I don't think it should be that grindy. Seems like it's all too grindy at the moment. Anyway, my biggest qualm is with the overlays on the armor themselves. There were just too many that didn't look right. You know, if you had, like I said, diamond armor with the red patterns, and sometimes they're a big bold circle, I think they should have perhaps gone for more, let's say like artistically driven. Oh, and Curls is going to put some questions in the chat for me. So if you've got some really potent questions, some really good points to raise, feel free to share them in chat. Curls will probably pass them on, and then we can have a proper discussion once I've had my little waffle. Because once I get this off my chest, I'll I'll have a read of your chat. So yeah, for me, I feel like the way I would have approached it is maybe constrain the amount of options that you have. So rather than having this big variety of shapes and colors, it's more like there's a leaner selection of things that really fit together, like nice trims that suit a particular type of armor. That would have been my approach, because there's a lot of combinations you can make that just look noisy and ugly, and I don't know, like some players will like that, some players will like a lot of contrast, and I'd probably be like, oh, I don't like that combination really, but you know, it gets a little subjective and personal at that point. But I really do think there's something to perhaps just constraining the amount of options and making sure that like everything's a bit more consistent with how Minecraft looks, because as it currently stands, you can just make some really kind of like haphazard looking collections. MonPJC says the trims have their own PNG files, so can be tweaked. Well, you said can't, but I'm assuming you meant can. Yeah, so data packs, great idea. Clearly they've once again created this feature and thought, you know, what about map makers and custom content? It's really good when they think through the different aspects of the game and make sure that these features are going to be sort of supported at different levels. I like that. So all of the data pack stuff, good. However, like, again, not everyone plays with that though, right? So what is Hermitcraft going to do? Because for the longest time, we've wanted to be able to customize armor. One of the ideas I had, have always had, and probably many other hermits have had, is to create like your own custom armor shop. One of these ideas ruminating in my mind is like Season 5. the gaming district, and like, what about being like a games master who builds games and gives out players tickets for prizes, and the prizes were like these tools. We can do it with tools. We can make custom tools now, so like we can really take advantage of that, but we can't do it for armor. And if these were to be the prizes, they're all too personal and they're very pricey. I would not feel comfortable putting decorations on the armor at this price and sort of treating them like they're valuable rarities, because any other player can replicate what I did, but also they can pick exactly what they want. So I had this, when I was looking at it, or I had this idea in my head of like, this almost suits this idea of being able to open up like a custom armor shop, but when you think about it, you have to put in a lot to have your custom armor shop. And then other players are going to come along and think, well, that's not quite how I do mine, so, you know, I'm not going to buy your one, I'm just going to create my own. So it doesn't really like work for that. It's a very specific use case, but it's probably one that would be very appealing to a lot of players, I'd imagine, especially in multiplayer communities. Seems to me that there could be levels of expense. 7 diamonds for the chest, cheapest of combinations, and then growing expense for more rare combinations. When you say combination, there's only, I think, material, color, and then shape. That's the only combination, really. Like, there isn't like a series like you could add multiple templates and then unlock some like super rare pattern, which again could be like another really cool way to make it more interesting. If you had a slimmer set of things, maybe there's a little bit of a tech tree there. That's probably not very Minecrafty though to get that complicated. MomPJC says, had a look at the new data pack structure and how it's implemented. Was thinking, now that we are seeing colors and textures being applied dynamically, like with signs, banners, leather, and now armor, it looks like it could be possible to apply the same process to other tools, weapons, mods, or even blocks. This could be very interesting going forward. Yeah, sounds like maybe there's some infrastructure there in place to enable these systems to be repurposed and reused elsewhere in the game. It is one of those things that they slowly chip away at. Each update they try and get more and more sort of customizability at a data pack level in for players, which is really great. I've really enjoyed that aspect of watching this game evolve. I think it's because that's powered that these are appearing as such. By the way, 3 minutes ago while I was waffling, we had Aristoteleb here for 4 months. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate your support. Apologies for missing it on the dot. Just waffling away here. Skyfighter says, to make a full set of armor, a sword, an axe, 2 picks, a shovel, and a hoe costs 70 diamonds for the upgrades. 40 ancient debris for 10 ingots, and I'm assuming you might trade with villagers for the armor. Otherwise, it costs 108 diamonds to craft everything. Dang, that is good to know. I'm going to copy that message. I want to make a note about that somewhere. Let me just throw that on my post-stream notes. Yeah, that was something I wanted to do myself at some point, sort of like map out. Okay, like now that this is here and it affects netherite, how much is it actually going to cost? Sounds like a lot, right? Sounds like a lot. Dracua266, maybe templates shouldn't be consumed when used. That's what I think they should do. I think you should pay a cost to use the template, like a diamond, and then, you know, the rest is... oh, there's like a... That's that block there, isn't it, right? Yeah. Some reason it's just polished andesite. Okay. And then it's going to look different because... yeah, I got it. So yeah, I think you should just, you know, pay a diamond or whatever to use it. Begley says, I think the netherite grind is kind of anti-casual, because like it's fine from an SMP perspective where we're all doing big grinds, so it's just like, oh, another one on the list. Like for the casual player who may have found netherite already a grind to do full armor and tools, that grind may have gotten to a level where they won't bother anyone. If I can make a counter argument, because I kind of agree, I think once you put players into a category, it's easy to look at the game from their perspective. But what I would say is that you can play the game with diamond armor. You can get diamond armor very easily from villagers, as you can all the books. So you can get to that kind of pretty good for the end game stage with just villagers and whatnot alone. But if you are a grinder, if you are someone who like plays on the big level, those netherite tools will get you just a little bit further. They'll be a little more useful for you. So I'd argue that I can hear clicking. And is there someone up there? You see, I'd argue that by being a grinder sort of player, netherite just becomes more useful to you. I can hear this like click-clacking in the background, you know? Someone's
Hello.
just typing away on their keyboard.
What? Click-clacking?
Yeah, I'm down there and I just hear some keyboard clacking in the background. So I'm like, someone's here, someone's left their voice mod on.
I actually had it turned off
Oh!
to not arise any suspicions.
Ah, maybe I'm just like psychic in a way, I don't know. You're holding redstone as well.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
coincidentally.
You're always doing redstone though.
Yeah. And nothing special. And what are you doing?
I'm doing redstone. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be hard for me to explain what all of this does because it's not even finished yet. Well, actually, you know what all of it does, conceptually speaking, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's,
What is it? What are you building? Game? Is it arena for beef or what?
That's right, yeah. The bit that I'm currently building right here is going to randomize 42 items out of your deck perfectly, and then on command put either a card into your hand or even take it all the way over to the other side to the other player's hand.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The core mechanic of it is actually something you'd probably be quite interested in, because whenever you have to do like pure randomization of a large amount of items, you run into those problems of like how do you split them into different droppers and randomize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So turns out you can put a whole bunch of hopper minecarts on an activator rail so they won't pick anything up when they're locked, and then the hopper that's underneath it will pick at random from all of the minecart hoppers on top of it, like actual
cool.
randomness. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Then you can have tons of random numbers in there.
Yeah,
That's neat.
it's a real mechanic to know about. In fact, I imagine like all your Psycraft friends probably know this, but I've just never seen it used
I don't know,
before.
maybe I can impress Inspector Talon with it. You know,
Oh,
Mr.
he would
Minecraft
love
guy.
it with his cart rail
Yeah.
stuff. What's it
Yeah,
called
yeah,
again?
yeah.
Cartstone, I think.
Yeah, Cardstone.
Yeah, he loves it.
See if he knows that. You know.
Yeah.
That would be next time we're hanging out. I'm gonna hit him with it and make.
Yeah, he might
let's
not.
see if he knows it. He probably knows it though. He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it
Maybe
just
everybody knows it, but we are just old and didn't. But yeah.
I don't know, it's just one of those things I've never seen before, and I'm sure there's uses for it, so hey, you know, if people know now, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, wait. Let me quickly take a screenshot from up here.
Oh. Yeah, what are you doing, by the way? Are you up to some shenanigans?
No, I'm trying to get good screenshots. Can you stay there?
Yeah, I can stay here. I'll stand just here. Is that okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is this good?
Okay. I'm giving up.
Do you have an anvil in your inventory?
No,
No?
not at all.
When I was looking up,
Dude,
I was like, there's
I
an
missed-
anvil. There's an anvil here.
I missed Gem by one block. By
Aw.
one. I stalked her like for 15 minutes. She went to bed, and I had to guess. And then she went out of bed. Anvil dropped right next to it, like literally in front of her.
Dang. Well, Doc, you'll never outdo me with the anviling, okay? Season 3 of Hermitcraft, okay?
Yeah.
I'm stalking Mumbo. I drop my anvil. I'm high above him. He doesn't know I'm there. I drop my anvil. I also let go of shift and actually land under the anvil that I dropped.
Nice.
I can't remember if I actually killed myself or not, but I managed to anvil myself. And then Mumbo's there looking at me like, what's going on?
Well done. But yeah, if you haven't heard, the anvil wars are going on the server.
Seems like it, yeah. I might have to arm up.
Yeah, Iso started it. Blame him.
Did he or did you?
Iso started it.
Oh, okay, I see. Efo started it. Right, I'll remember that.
Oh, who's over there? Ooh, that's Impulse. Let's see what he's working on.
Alright, see you around, Doc.
Later.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Pretty sure that's what goes there. I didn't even get that. How did you anvil yourself, says Curls? So I'm like on the edge of a block, right? Like this. You click there to place the anvil. Actually, I might have not I might have not let go of shift. Oh my god. Sentences are difficult. I may have just put the anvil and moved onto it, so then I fell through it. I could probably actually demonstrate this. By the way, I got a noise in the ear. Ultimate Wager! Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it. To fund your anvils. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the funding. Fortunately, I visited my iron farm earlier this stream. So we actually have this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the way, right? Or is it the other way around? Oh, it's the other way around. How long have I been playing this game? You know, all this chat earlier about, oh, I've been playing this game for how many years? Right, here's how you anvil yourself, peeps. Okay, first of all, you go looking for a mumbo. Let's just go over here somewhere. Ugh. Right, you obviously got to check that you got a proper spot to land on down below. So like no half slabs. I hope that's not a carpet. What are we looking at there? I hope that's not a half block either. I don't think that's a half block. So if I hold down back, right, can you see how it's nudging? So I think the mistake that I made was this. Okay, and then I fell. I thought my netherite armor would have been good enough. I thought my netherite armor would have been good for that. Dang it. Oh well. It certainly served to prove a point. That one can actually... Where did I land? Oh, down here? One can squish oneself. Who? Isn't it supposed to say who did it? Okay, I think I need to put some of this on. Because there's like still items and stuff. Anyway, now you know how you can accidentally anvil yourself when trying to anvil a friend. That's how it's done. That's literally how it's done. now everyone's very suspicious. That was the Mumbo prank in reverse. Yeah. Anvil Wars. Lame EFO. Now you know. Might be because you were wearing an elytra instead of a chest plate. Yeah, plus I got protection for... twice? It's not as good as 3 times, but you know. I like to spread out the enchants a little. Fun stream, says Dr. Mine. When you die from an anvil, it's always a fun stream, isn't it? I need to just make a note about something over here. Right, notes taken. So we were talking about... What were we talking about? We were talking about the snapshot. Yeah, any other ideas? Any unique takes? What if the template breaks and then you need to repair it with diamonds like other gear? That's actually a really cool idea. Like it has a bunch of uses. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion, Mouthy. That's a great way for them not to have to adjust the smithing table, right? Like, to add in an extra layer where you got to pay for stuff. Like, that's going to be awkward. So, pretty good idea, I think. So I think that hopper points straight down, doesn't it? And there isn't actually any redstone there. Right, and then the observers... Oh my god, they're like... Don't want to miss anything or get anything wrong, you know? Who would? Who would? So then that hopper definitely goes into there. See, that one's saying that it doesn't, but it's because of that. So when I put this one in, if it's the same... Because that's not... Oh, maybe it's supposed to be bad. Who knows? Who knows? Dev Chimera says, this is my take. I find the netherite upgrade now too big of a difficulty step for casual players. I mean, people already have a hard time raiding bastions with netherite armor. Yeah, that's probably a good point. As I said earlier, like, you can get all the diamond gear as a casual player pretty easy. Maybe they need to make bastion remnants a little easier. Yeah, it's definitely a good point. I think they've increased the value of netherite in one way, but they need to perhaps make netherite less value in another, which is probably difficulty, as I think the grind is worthy of the reward of being able to mine so many, like, additional blocks with your tools. I think that's a really worthy sort of response with the grind. So what are you building today? Says Sneaky Pete. I am building... Isn't that like a movie or something? Vintage Beef's trading card game arena. What a privilege it is to do this. Also, huge shout out to Cybot for stepping up and helping with the redstone. I talk about this in my episode, but I feel just the need to say it. Like, I had a very stressful week last week, and when I tried to do some redstone at the end of the day, like, my brain could not do anything. Like, I couldn't even probably, like, make an AND gate. I was just so frazzled. And I was like, oh my god, I've got all this, like, I've got this deadline, right? Like, I've told Beef I'll do this for him. I was confident I could do it. I don't think I would have built something quite as elegant as this system. And I'm looking for a reason, actually, to build another system again. I would really like to have a proper shot at building some more complicated redstone stuff and try and get better. I say this a lot. And then, like, you get an opportunity, you take it, and then all of a sudden something, you know, unexpected kind of happens. But, yeah, Cybot just stepped up and was like, yeah, I'll take care of it. And I felt a little bad having to be like, oh, this bit's wrong and that bit's wrong. And, but it's here now, and thanks to Cybot, it's a really great redstone system. So, I don't know. Oh, Cybot's there! Thank you, my dude. Really appreciate you, man. Like, you really come in and helped out. That's awesome. Cloud CTR1 says, is upgrading a shovel to netherite even worth it with a new system? 7 diamonds for a minimal upgrade when you can just make another shovel with 1 diamond. There's a good argument there, but remember, you've got enchantments, and then you've got the convenience of just knowing that your your shovel lasts a little longer. But also, don't forget that, you know, fire resistance. Your items aren't going to get destroyed by lava. That's a really powerful part of netherite, and again, an argument for why it's so good in the nether, right? Like we just said a second ago about bastion remnants and whatnot, right? So yeah, the balancing goes both ways a little bit here. Okay, we've got a button. I'll probably put that in eventually. That also... Oh, that might be there to redirect the redstone, which target blocks can do, but yeah, you'd still use buttons on occasion. It's a stone button, so I just need a piece of stone. Just the one, I guess. And then how about some more scaffolding to get around? The guy with long hair says, would be nice if ancient debris could be made more common, making acquiring netherite blocks easier to obtain, without doing the same for armor and tools. Yeah, it does. It's a bit annoying when there's a block in the game that looks really, really nice, and it is just the most grindy thing ever. I would like to see that block be a little easier to access. Anyway, I think they did lots of things really well with the snapshot, the way they rolled it out, the way they thought about the features. Just maybe the armor trims themselves, I think, left a little to be desired. Bit noisy. I would have preferred a more coherent vision of like a bunch of styles that complement each other. Because right now they just sort of feel like some pretty straightforward patterns, and some are clearly way better than others, right? Way, way better. Anyway, that's just my... Oh, this is different. Pink. That's just my 2 cents on the matter, I guess. As the old saying goes. Right, I just noticed that I've been streaming for an hour, which means it's time for me to stand up, right? Time for me to stand up. Speaking of long hair, was this another streamer, or did X talk about having long hair before? I've never been able to do the long hair thing. I've always liked long hair. I think it looks cool. If you can rock it. I've always been a buzz cut kind of person. Just shave it all off. Keep it short and simple. Easy to maintain. Right, I'm now officially standing up. Good for me, right? Good for me. By the way, Haley Bailey, thank you so much for 27 months of support. Appreciate you. That was 10 minutes ago. Gosh, I've been in such a waffle, haven't I? That guy with the long hair says, "Oh, thanks, I've always liked you too, X." That's great. Skyfighter says, to make netherite a worthy upgrade as the system... As it is, the snapshot can make netherite gear not break when out of durability like the elytras. That would be a cool compromise. But again, might not really get at the core of the problem. The core of the problem, I think, is just like how big that grind is now. I think that's how players are going to perceive it. It's going to be like, oh, that's just a bit too much for me to do, right? So what, like, even if it's like, you know, you'll never die when you wear it or something, it's like, it still costs a lot of time, and I think that's probably the core of the problem. The core of the problem is the community's conditioning for such grinds, says the Fegley. I mean, talking about like what's a grind and what not, it's different for different players. If you've played this game for a long time like I have, this game used to be way grindier, and it's just a weird aspect of Minecraft that so much stuff gets weighed up against how much time you put into it. It's just a natural sort of game with elements of like, okay, the fun ain't gonna happen right now, we're just here to do the grind. But the payoff is often really big for that too, so it's a weird thing that, you know, Mojang have to work with and balance. Oh, very important thing, there are torches here. Okay, it looked like I missed one of them. Very important to put that in. I had to learn all the redstone the other day, and I think I did a pretty good job at understanding everything, actually. So now as I build it, I'm noticing like important little details where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that bit. That bit needs to, you know, do this. Or whatever. Activator rails are a thing that we're going to start needing, I guess. My inventory is also pretty ropey. Don't think I'm going to need any of that. And probably not any note blocks again for a minute. And then activator rails. Yeah, going to need... Actually, I think 6 is the amount you need, but we'll take 8. Just in case. Just in case. Just having a read of chat, peeps. Just seeing what y'all are talking about. Don't need anvil. X, do you think the armor trim templates will help for people to do more exploring? Yeah, of course it will. It'll encourage people to go out there and, you know, find the things that they need or want, let's say. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to take a quick toilet break. Something about standing up always relieves my bladder. And then I need to go to the loo, don't I? So, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's a little bit warmer here in the UK, isn't it? It just kind of dawned on me. I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm only wearing a shirt and I'm actually quite warm in the house. Whereas sometimes I've been sitting here in recent weeks and whatnot streaming, and like I've got multiple layers on, a jumper, and I'm shivering in a stream. I'm like, what's going on? Those water pads break the anvil, says Heli-Spont Hero. What water pads are we talking about? I do not know. What blocks are those? Orange concrete? I'm going to place a few of those. Just up ahead. Hey, we've got a noise in the air. Astronomical Joy! Thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate ya. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Lily Pad says Banyan. Where are the... How is this relevant to what we're doing and talking about? Like, it just felt so random to read that. Was off seeing how much damage from anvils... is... Oh, falling anvils from different damage. Yeah, well, it depends on the height that the anvil falls from and stuff like that, I think. I hope none of this scaffolding finds a way to, like, mess with anything. I don't think it should, right? There's a possibility, though. Okay, that torch is there. Then we got, like, a block to go at that level. Oh, it fell down. Naughty. And then broke off, I think. Sort of naughty. And then I'm guessing that's orange too, right? But I have to go... looks like I'm going to have to go down here to place it. And then I think that's orange too, right? But then there's a dropper. And then you can't reach when you jump and hold down shift. How typical. Right, I think I'm going to have to get a bit more scaffolding for someone. I'm looking forward more to the exploring myself. I had no reason to find a jungle temple, but now I do. Now you got a reason to find 20 of them. I'm sure that'll change though. What did I come back for? Scaffolding, that's the one. Yeah. Can a lily pad hold a falling anvil? I think if you place one directly above it, it doesn't move, right? I'm not sure about it catching it. Also, anvil damage is only affected by having a helmet, not other armor. Really? That sounds like some bogus right there. Remember, I used to be Mr. Mythbuster, right? But even then, like they would change stuff in the game, and you might not realise it. So anything's possible. X, you need to test it out. I mean, what I need to do is get like a new list of myths to bust. Let me go to my notes and maybe I'll just throw it in the myth busting document. Feel free to check it. Well, I will. It's just like, it makes me think, when did that change occur? Because I'm pretty sure it hasn't always been like that. That's sort of where my thinking goes. There's a lot of stuff like that where it's like, you know, sometimes I read something in a snapshot changelog and it's like, oh yeah, we fixed this bug. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen it the other way around and it's been reported as a bug. And then it gets switched back and then it goes back again and it's just, ugh. So there are things that get changed for sure. Okay, look at this. I'm trying to find those little sneaky ones that are like a redstone torch there, you know what I mean? It's probably really important. Now, is there equivalent of that on the other side? Is this like a circuit that's sort of mirrored? Let's look at it from a couple of different perspectives here. No, this one isn't. This system in the middle is not a mirrored one. It's not something that then appears somewhere else. I think protection on other pieces might still affect it, but that's not the armor itself. Yeah, so maybe it's like you get an increased bit of something from wearing the helmet, right? It's another thing about testing and numbers and this game as well that I've learned from my time doing myth busting is that sometimes you can surmise like a way to solve something, but you don't like consider every variable. So someone could do a test and go, oh yeah, this test shows that the helmet is stopping the damage or whatever, but like, did they test other pieces of armor too? It's always a thing to consider. Oh gosh, I didn't want to fall down right then. That was not what I wanted to do. Lucro says apparently there's a comparator that's supposed to be in subtract mode somewhere up there. I'll keep an eye out. I'll scan over everything multiple times and test it all, so we'll catch things like that. Okay, here's some more stuff that I'm yet to build. This purple bit I think is the bit that goes up to the lamps. Oh no, I have done that. I just haven't put the torch on it. Right. That we were sort of in the process of building this at one point or another. Is that a pink block? It is. Oops, fell in there. This thing is on 1 tick. And that's a hopper pointing into a double chest. Right, I need to go grab some chests for that then. It's getting to that point where, like, these blocks up here are sort of in the way. What's annoying about it is that they're going to fall down into hoppers and stuff like that. So, got to be super cautious breaking that stuff off. I think we'll do that next. We'll grab the chests and then we'll do that. We've got chests in there? No. Chests will actually be in here. And that's as many as we needed, right. My friend on a server found a pink sheep naturally, then she crashed and the sheep disappeared. Oh. Well, that is odd. Okay, so if we go up to this level, now we kind of know how high the redstone goes. Like, quite high, really. So if we're gonna take away white concrete, we do it a block at a time. Yeah, and some of it will have buttons and stuff on it. Great. It is important to be deliberate sometimes and patient. Did I get that one? I think I got that one. I wasn't paying 100% attention. It gets a bit awkward playing with the schematic on sometimes, right? You're not sure where stuff starts and ends. Okay, that'll be okay to build. Just want to take a couple of blocks off the top here. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, that's plenty around this space. I'm going to take away a few more than I need, really. And that will get to stay there. Nice, getting all of it. Cybot says, I recommend ripping out the arena floor. Some people, like Kamira, suggested putting the armor trim templates in the inventory of the Wandering Trader. What do you think about that? It's literally what the Wandering Trader does. Part of its design is to give people an alternative to exploring, so it would actually make a lot of sense that they would appear there. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, kind of feel like that's all we need there. Again, I'm doing this kind of like slow and deliberate because I don't want anything to fall into a hopper and not be accounted for. Camel sniffer, the people mold over this update. Mold? I think 1.20 will be a good update. Maybe not quite as classic as ones like the Nether update and stuff, but they're doing a good job. I think people just want this stuff to like come quicker. It's probably the main thing. Whoops. Okay, got both of those. Okay, all of that bit around the back there seems okay. What's the name of the update? I don't know what it's going to be, but I reckon it'll be something like the Express Yourself update. Which I think is a really good theme, actually. Because it's a big part of what Minecraft is about, expressing yourself. And having a focus on enabling more of that, and telling stories and whatnot. I think is... Express yourself is a little bit more universal, I think, than telling stories, right? But telling stories is a part of that, so... I'm all for it. Now, where did that one go, actually? Did I see it drop down? Uh-oh. Oh, did we just lose one? Haha. Oh dear. Oh dear. I extended myself a little too much then, didn't I? Got a noise in the ear though. It's TBSPS here for 2 months saying, fighting the dragon right now. Really appreciate the hype music. Cool. I mean, if you call this hype, I call it mellow. And it's actually stopped. No, it hasn't. It's just playing like a quiet intro. Anyway. Huh. So we broke it from over there. It was... Wait, oh, have I totally lost my orientation? It was definitely here. Maybe I did pick it up. Because there's not really any... Hang on, here we go. Maybe... No. Didn't go there. Oh, dang it. Didn't end up here either. What does chat think? Was anyone else paying attention? Maybe I did pick it up, because I don't see it anywhere. And there's not a lot of spaces it could have dropped into. I'll have to check everything again anyway at some point. I think maybe it landed on this one. The one with the composter on it, says Turtle Burger. I'm checking those. But it don't seem to be so. No, I don't think... I think I must have just panicked a bit, because... Oh, I don't know. It did seem to me like we didn't pick it up, but... Anyway, we'll test everything, so let's do that again. Anyways, if you're thinking like, oh, X, this is taking forever, man. This is so slow. Like, I am deliberately doing everything slow. Believe me. Don't want to make any mistakes. This is very intentional. What are we trying to find, says Sleepy Skidders? A cyan concrete block. Is what we were after. Wow, I didn't know the arena needed that much redstone, says Alt Nacho. I mean... Maybe it didn't. Like, maybe we could have left more up to the games masters, right? But this way, it's just so much more impressive. It's like... It's that Hermitcraft level, right? Actually, this goes... Hang on, this bit here is probably where I should start. We got the one, the only, Leah Leia. Thank you for all you do as always, Leah. Glad to be here and supporting the a fantastic creator and friend. Oh, lovely message. Really appreciate you. And 80 months. Gosh. Where does it all go, right? Where does it all go? Okay, let's start with the dropper. Put the slab behind it. Where does the time go? We could probably talk a little bit of mental health right about now. Time is like, I think, a big part of one of life's struggles for many people when you let it get to you. I have been thinking over a lot of different things lately, and one of them that I'm realizing is like quality of time over quantity of time. It's such a huge thing. Like there is an art to going a little bit slower, thinking things through. I'm set to make a video about this where I really like concisely get all the thoughts together and express them. That's a script that I'll probably start writing when it feels right, maybe. Which it felt right a few times, but you know, hadn't quite had the time for it. But that's okay. Whereas I think that's like a huge difference between where I was and where I am now. It's just realizing that it's okay to not have to do everything all the time. It's a big one. Like I've got these notes on my mantra that I read every day. And I've been really trying to like internalize some ideas that I found to be interesting or profound. And a lot of it kind of just comes down to like really trying to like get into what you're doing and enjoying it the most you can. As opposed to like being on a treadmill. So as a creator, I feel like I've now turned a new leaf mentally when it comes to like streaming, making videos. I'm just like trying to focus on that thing that I'm doing and where the fun in it is and how to enjoy it. Rather than being on this treadmill of like this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing. So like after the arena here is done, I've got a couple of other projects to do. Previous me would have been trying to power through, get this thing done, get that thing done, you know, on that treadmill, trying to pump out the next one. Whereas now I'm like, let's fully enjoy this, you know, let's fully enjoy assembling this crazy beast of redstone. Let's take the time to properly understand how it works. Let's not rush ourselves here. Let's really get into it. And the same thing with the streaming as well. Like, you've probably heard me like moan about the pace of Minecraft and, oh man, here we are on stream just grinding again. But I'm like, that's the game. So like, enjoy the moment. Leah Leia says, yeah, my mental health has been making anything social a massive struggle, and I feel like I'm trying to figure out how to be a person all over again. It rather sucks. Leah, I'll shoot you a message after the stream. And I'm just reminding myself what it is. Okay, note made. Yeah, it's very easy to get on this treadmill as a creator of just like, you know, this video, that video, this video, that video. And now that's not how I'm going to treat it anymore. I'm going to get a clearer vision of the video that I want to make and think about how it can be like really great as for what it is. You know, and then work towards that, just chip away at it, but not get stressed out over like, oh, I haven't put out a video in a week or anything like that. I'm done with all of that. It's like it's ruined my mind, the pressure of it, and I'm ready to just be different and try a different thing here. You know, you might be able to hear from the way I'm wording it that it's still kind of like hard to fully summarize, but at some point I want to, you know, get it put together well. Taubar says, I hope you will succeed. Thank you. I feel like I can, because the priorities are much more simple now. It's like the priority is like my health and what I'm thinking, and so I need to stop myself from going into like creator mode. Last week when I made the snapshot before yesterday's, I was under some serious stress and I was not happy with that video. But while I was making it, I realized that because of the nature of my time around being able to make my snapshot video, that it didn't give me the space to try and do this thing the way that I wanted to. But yesterday I really took my time with that video and just enjoyed understanding all the new stuff and then putting it in an order of the way that I wanted to explain it, and then enjoying all of that. And I was really chuffed with the final outcome, because you know, when I was done with the video, it was like, that's the video I wanted to make, you know? That wasn't like a race or a sprint or a grind or difficult, or, you know, missing, oh no, I missed out this thing because I was trying to get it out or whatever. It was just, it was right. And so last week was a bit of a blessing in a weird way, because it really crystallized what's wrong with all of this. Like, you know, I let myself off because there were some circumstances that just meant I needed to, like, get that done with a little amount of time. But it just really highlighted where my thinking had changed now about creating videos. So the next episode of Hermitcraft that you're going to watch, it's not a race. It's all just me getting it done whenever it can be done and enjoying each step of the way. And that's going to be my attitude now. So I'm not going to, like, look at my channel like, oh no, I haven't put out this thing in a while or that thing in a while. I'm just going to take it as it comes and focus on enjoying each of the steps that are involved, and not get caught up in that mindset of, like, got to do more, got to be more productive. Now it's like, okay, I've done that. Now it's like quality of time. Okay, I feel like there might be something just under this. I don't like it when a block's sort of there and there's nothing on it. It could be. Yeah, there's stuff pointing into it from another angle. Those are my latest thoughts. What do you think, chat? Succeeding is maybe a bad choice of words in this case, says Taobao. The success of what I'm trying to do is that I you know, keep my mental being in a good space. So, like, maybe that doesn't track with what we normally define as success, right? Usually success is some sort of external measurement, but now it's an internal measurement. Like, I realize it's more important that as a creator I don't, you know, destroy my mind. Honestly, like, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit because it can be fun to exaggerate, but my mind did get really warped into this, like, content brain, and it still does it on occasion, and now I just kind of notice it and think, not for me. But so it took the enjoyment out of so much stuff, because any little idea that pops into my head becomes like some sort of ambition that I feel like I have to go after. And now I feel like, no, you don't need to go after everything, and that's okay. Just enjoy what you're doing. So, you know, being in a creative space, anytime creative ideas pop into my mind, it becomes like this stress of, I could be doing that. And it's like, now I realise, no, you can't think about everything like that. It doesn't work. Ooh, that's interesting. There might be more redstone and blocks and stuff here that needs to be placed to stop that from remaining a burnout clock. Like, I think there's a block here, but it's kind of hard to see. Let's bring the layers down. There's actually not a block right there. That is a burnout clock, technically. Have I done something wrong here? Cybot may be able to enlighten me. Is this... Have I just, like... Have I got another block to place somewhere or something? It looks like it's a burnout clock, which you don't want. Yeah, it's getting a bit tight around here, isn't it? But, taking our time, making sure we're doing it right. If you're stressed out about things moving too fast, slow down and bring out content whenever you're ready. That's kind of what I'm doing now, yeah. It's not about the quantity we like, quality. You don't need to make a lot of videos. We want videos that you are happy with, because in some videos it's not enjoyable because the one who makes the video enjoying it is enjoying we all aren't able to enjoy do what you want. I kind of get what you're saying. A block cutting it off, maybe, says Cybot. Feels to me like there should be something here. But it's definitely a burnout clock. That's what's weird. Let's go double check it. Empass7, thank you so much for 3 months of support, by the way. I can't remember if I read that one out or not. But thank you nonetheless. Okay, so there's that directly above it, which would stop it from being a burnout clock. So that's what I couldn't quite make out. I think you found yourself in that position he is talking about, but I feel like you've derailed from doing the things you want and should be taking advantage of your strengths. I disagree. I feel like the idea of taking advantage of your strengths is what I'm doing. Like, I'm more focused on the stuff that brings me pleasure and that I enjoy doing, because I'm not distracting myself with all these other ideas. Like, I know that I'm an ideas person, but I'll torture myself if every little idea is treated as something I'll have to do. For example, I've just casually entertained this idea recently because it was just fun to think about. But I decided, all right, I'll think about this creative thing. Well, I don't have to follow up on it. I don't have to actually do this, because it would be a nightmare to try and throw this into the mix. It's just a fun exercise in following whatever the mind dreams up, right? So I was thinking about the game Command & Conquer. I always love a little bit of game design, and I seem to just always find myself vibing with stuff that doesn't really fit into Minecraft. Like, I'd like to make more mini games and stuff, but I just haven't found the idea that like suits that directly. But maybe if I just let myself enjoy different ideas, something will come eventually. Anyway, I was thinking about how like the game Command & Conquer, those real-time strategy games have really like gone. They're kind of outdated, so you don't really see games like that around anymore. They're a little bit antiquated. And I was kind of just thinking about how what's really appealing about it is the simplicity in which you make decisions, you play, and the visual aesthetics of it. And I was wondering how you could make a game like that. You know, more modern, more interesting. And you know, my mind runs away with some ideas on how you could do that. And the previous me would like get anxious about it, like, oh, I've got to make this happen. And now I'm like, that's not the point. Like, it would kill me to try and develop like a proper game like that. It's just like, I'm just having a little bit of daydreaming, that's all. So anyway, I started to think like, what would be really cool is that rather than commanding individual troops and making those sorts of decisions, that there's actually like a little world that sort of operates on its own and interacts with itself. So like your troops are out there, but like when you do Command & Conquer, like you turn up on the beachhead on the first mission, you put down the construction site, you build a barracks, troops come out of the barracks, you then send them and tell them where to attack and stuff. And it's like, that's kind of not how actual combat works. Like, supply lines is a big thing. You have supplies coming in, and I was sort of thinking, like, rather than landing on the beach and getting the construction site, you should be having like continuous shipments come in, and then you sort of delegate what those resources get used for. And when you do stuff like building, you know, you're building like temporary shelters and things that secure your supply lines and help you extend them off into the distance of the map. And you know, maybe rather than controlling individual units, you're giving general orders, and you can do things. I was thinking like you could have chemistry among the different battalions and divisions of infantry. Perhaps you have control over, like, as they come in, because they're like part of the supply line, new troops come in, they have different attributes and you have to figure out where to distribute them. You know, send these captains over there, and there could be mechanics behind it that mean that like you could choose to move a captain that performs really well or really bad with one group into another one, and then the game would sort of like naturally put that commander into like a truck as the trucks are going back and forth. There'll be like a network of transport, and eventually it will end up over at this other group. And when it gets there, you might find out that you made a good decision, and this captain gels better with that group. And you know, all the different troops have like statistics for their like supplies and what sort of training they've had and who they bond with. And so you make these like top-down decisions, and then the world plays them out. So you know, you're not doing these like telling this unit to go over there and strike. You're sort of giving a general order, and then the troops sort of organize themselves. Logistics simulator, sort of. I wanted the logistics to be quite simply like happening, like a simulation, and you having more of that RTS top-down decision making. So like, you've got like your menu on the side, and you can choose to like build an outpost here, and then people on the grounds will create an outpost in the middle of a little town that you've taken over or something. And one of the things I did think that wouldn't be fun about that is like the tech tree. It's always fun to like upgrade your tech tree, but maybe there's ways in which like once you've established a certain amount of types of resource management in an area, it enables you to do more advanced stuff. Like maybe you've got enough supplies built up and you control enough of a secure area that enables you to build an airfield. So then you tell, I want the airfield here, and then you see all the like the trucks move around and move things into position, and then you get your airfield. So it's like less of that sort of unrealistic, just building appears out of nowhere, and more like top-down management of a particular like scenario. Anyway, like, you know, like it's just a fun exercise to like stretch that sort of design muscle in your mind. Talbot says you should really look into Dwarf Fortress. I've been aware of that game for a long time. I just don't really know what it's about, I guess. I thought about recommending a Roblox horror game, but then I promptly forgot I am terrified to message X and just battered the thought away, even though X might like it. I'm just too scared, says NW Gaming. You should be scared. I'll scold you if you recommend me a horror game. Oh, God! Fear my wrath. I don't know why you'd be scared. I don't know why. I also don't really like horror games, so no big deal. Where the redstone drops down a block to the purple in the middle black is supposed to connect to those slabs. Need to be full blocks. Where the redstone drops down a block to purple in the middle black. We're talking about here, aren't we? Yeah, I can see it's wrong. I got you. I looked at the message again and I was like, hang on a minute, I know what you're talking about. There it is. That. Purple concrete. Oh, it's actually the wrong block as well. Let's go ahead and make it the correct block. So anyway, with this game idea, I just really like the idea of giving the player that more simplistic approach, because I've checked out a few games here and there that are sort of successors to Command and Conquer, like war game management, and you get this feeling of just sort of being like bogged down in decision making a lot, whereas I kind of like this idea of more like top down. You just start with simple stuff like telling your troops like where you want them to advance to, and then the resources that are coming in on the beach and like your supply line, you can sort of extend it by building things that extend, you know, supply areas and places for hospitals, makeshift hospitals, and for your soldiers to rest. But then all the other stuff, all the micromanagement, it's actually like an automatic little world that's just playing itself out. All the soldiers are like little, I guess you might call them AI, they're like little independent things in your world just going around. So when you give like this order of I want a building here, nearby troops will sort of come over and then start to make it happen and stuff. But of course when you make a decision like that, then those troops aren't doing something somewhere else. So like it could get quite interesting if done right. What I really want to do though is I really want to get stuck into an idea like that I can then build in Minecraft. I remember back in the day I used to go cycling, and then I would start thinking about game design. That's where like stuff like Gold Rush and all those other games that I built back in the day, they came from doing that. Like I'd go on these cycles and I'd just spin over these ideas in my mind and I'd come back and build them. So I really want to find something like that I can do in Minecraft, but that's definitely not something that suits it. Right, it really does look like we've knocked out most of this. Can you power the 2 purple repeaters coming from the input section on top? Should clean up the visuals a bit. Can I power the 2? How would I do that? I'm very aware that somewhere there's like... There's just something that's the wrong way around, right? Like a piece of redstone dust that shouldn't be powered but is, kind of thing. Also, that needs to be on subtract mode. Can you power the 2 purple repeaters coming from the input section on top? Oh, coming in. Let's think about that here. So, all the way back here, these aren't powered. Why would they be powered, though? Let's go check, because I want to build it, like, obviously in the off state to start with. Xisuma, remember how complex Europa Universals 4 is? Your game sounds like it would be at that level. Okay, so I don't remember it because I haven't played that game. And complexity was sort of the thing I wanted to get away with from in my game. Like, the complexity and the level of details are automated so that you can just play the game casually, or you can, like, really get deeper into it and then make bigger decisions if you wanted to. That was kind of my thinking on that front. So, this appears to be powered. Is it me, or did this look different on Hermitcraft? I thought the red repeater plugged straight into... Oh, maybe I looked at that bit there. So there's power here. I think it's just powering itself. I don't think there's like a hidden torch. I think it's literally like a signal strength. Yeah, it's signal strength that's sustaining itself. So if I do that on here, then it will be good, I believe. Then we'll be good. So let's go... Oh, that's not a redstone block. Okay, yeah, so I looked at that bit, but this bit here is where we could do with powering it. So that'll hold its signal strength. However, still got some issues here. Why is that? It's supposed to be... maybe it's because... Okay, I think... Yeah, I think I just need to power it from somewhere else, actually, like here. No? Oh, okay, it's actually out by 1? So, maybe... 14... They're both supposed to be 14, so if I power it from here... Now that should be sustaining it at the correct signal strength? No, now it's 13. Huh. I kind of got the right idea, but just not in the right place yet. That might just do the trick. Let's... Right, I believe I might have just powered it from the correct place. So that's supposed to be on a different mode, as is that one. And now... Wow, that cleaned it up. Oh my goodness me. It feels like it isn't even on now. Which probably means it's a great time to go over and check every little bit of redstone, because so much of it is correct. So some of these droppers are simply going to be missing items, and I'll have to do like a side-by-side screen comparison on that. Yeah, I'm going to have to... I'm not sure what would be in that one, but I'm going to have to get on the other server at the same time and just set this all up side by side, essentially. Yep, like there's a hopper, and if that had an item in, this would be different, and then, yeah. So we want to look for some obvious problems. I think that type of game can't be made in Minecraft, says Talbar. I don't think it could either. And if you did, you'd be doing some really hacky stuff with data packs, you know, like a lot of calculations would be done, and it would be really suboptimal to display that in Minecraft. Like, a lot of the game ideas that I have tend to not really translate to the 3D environment of Minecraft very well. This stuff appeals, I think, way more to like spatial design and layout for situations like PvP and whatnot, which I found a little less appealing. Like when I first went into that space, it was really quite interesting, but now I'm more interested in like other sorts of game mechanics, I guess. Yeah, this thing's kind of like all set for what I described a moment ago. Let me have a look at my notes, because I'm not really sure if there's much else that I need to do, if that's the next step. Don't really need to do that right now. Yeah, we're kind of good, so I kind of need to get into the testing phase. Maybe I'll build a little bit more of the arena up top. Like, put some of this stuff back, because I probably won't need to go through this area too much anymore. I do need to put 42 of those minecart hoppers in. That'll be a bit of a pain. Let's do that next, you know. Leolair says, making me nervous about regular torches to light stuff up. Well, most of the time they have something on top of the blocks, right? I guess one of the issues is scaffolding, because mobs can spawn on scaffolding, which is something that's going to change. So we'll go up there and throw down just a few of these while it's dark, like here and there. Make sure this area stays somewhat lit. It's lit, fam! It's lit! See, look, it's literally lit. Where am I going to put this torch? On that side, over here. Same spot. Right, this should settle your nerves. As there is now plenty of lighting around here. I think we'll put one there. Whoa, easy, easy. Yeah, looking alright now, isn't it? There's also torches down here at the bottom, so that should be good. Hawk Screamer says, anyone seen the new snapshot? I've seen it, believe it or not. I know what you're thinking, but X, if you'd have seen that snapshot, you'd have made a video about it, surely. Well, I got news for you. I did make a video about it, jeez. Right, let's put away all the colours that we're probably not going to need right now. And then we need to get some minecarty stuff together, yay! I come back to, it's literally lit, fam. It's lit, fam. I don't know what's lit, but they keep telling me that it's lit. You know, I'm listening to this song, I'm not sure what they mean. Is it fire? Is it lit? I mean, fire is lit, isn't it? Something's going on. One day I'll figure it out. I thought xisumavoid did a video on it. Xisuma, says Dev Chimera. xisumavoid did, apparently. Wait, what do I want? Iron? Lots of iron, basically. Lots and lots of iron. So yeah, it probably makes more sense to bring this thing up there, right? Oh, and then I need hoppers. I need hibbity-hoobity hoppers. And quite a lot of them. And my disposable wood source is somewhere else. And I've put my crafting bench here, right. How many chests? 12. I need 42 times 2. I need 80. I need to take a trip, basically. And go get more of that stuff. How do I not have more of it here? Yeah, I really don't, do I? Time for a trip back to the base, I guess. Where is the nearest portal? Ah, it's probably still Scars over here, isn't it? 84 minecarts total, yes, quite a lot. 13 stacks of iron, wow. quick with the math. X, what game engine are you thinking of using? None. Not thinking of using any game engine. Speedrunners will figure out how to get full nether armor trim eventually for sure. God, imagine that as a speedrun. Getting all the templates, all the trim. Jeez. I wouldn't. I never really enjoyed speedrunning on a game. Never really gotten into that. Is that for the random shuffler, says Taubar? Yes, this is for the random shuffler. Okay, quite a few things here we can use. Still not enough. Cameron speedran a netherite ingot in free mind. Wow, in free mind? Dang. Wish I could play in free mind. My mind's never free. I only speedran Mario Kart once. I probably did a speedrunning type thing at one point or another with a game, but never. I don't recall ever like having a time I was trying to beat or anything like that. And I've played a few games over the years where speedrunning or trying to get a better time is like a part of the game. There's this one called Mirror's Edge, I think, where you did like parkour over buildings and getting good times on that was like a part of it. But I don't know, it just doesn't appeal massively to me. Only took 3 brains to do it, says Liger. Apparently so. Speedrun Doom, lol. You see, I love Doom, but speedrunning it doesn't appeal to me at all. Like, if I were to play it again, I'd want to sort of enjoy the immersion of the levels. There's just, you know, there's like some people don't like puzzles and game design and Redstone, right? Like it's just, what do they say? Different strokes for different cats. That's definitely what they say. Right, let's go and make this thing. In fact, paying attention to the time a little bit, I think I might do this properly because I've got to count and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this, the rest of this stuff a little later on. Pure asbestos? No, I was talking about game design, but not making a game. Just having fun with some ideas. Peeps, if you got a moment, be sure to hit the follow button and go check out linktree.xisuma.co. There's all sorts of content linked on there. And some stuff you might not know about, like I make music and I play the guitar. Got videos of me playing the guitar. If any of that stuff sounds interesting, be sure to go check it out. Otherwise, I'm going to go look for someone to raid right now. I think I'll send you over to Hypnotize today, a fellow hermit. Big thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. Appreciate y'all as always. Thanks to the mods, the patrons, and the peeps gifting subs. And if you didn't know, there's a new snapshot out, and I've covered it on my channel. So you got options: raids, websites, and videos. Anyway, take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.